Well, I guess those are rebates for the one that I posted on Instagram like a day after I got this wheel built or whatever, because that one was pretty bad and I just went with it. But I mean, they're getting a little bit better, I guess. Got these new cranks, new sprocket, new chain, pretty sick. These are 165s with a 25 tooth tree sprocket, KMC half link gold chain, looking pretty sick. After having these parts for like probably a month, finally put them on the bike. So I'm gonna show you time lapse of that. I never did it before with like BMX style cranks, so it was a little bit of a learning curve for sure, which I got the profile tool from my homie. It was like buried in his like bike room and he had to find it. Finally got it, finally put them on, feeling pretty good about it. So yeah, coming at you with a voiceover. I bet you didn't think I was gonna come at you with a voiceover, but I'm gonna tell you about some things in this video here. So basically what you're gonna see me doing here is I break this old chain that came with this bike. I take the back wheel off. I built that wheel. If you haven't seen, go watch it in my it's like my last video maybe, I don't even know. But you see me take the pedals off, I take the cranks off. This is a 8 spline 175mm kink crank set that came with this bike. Said it was too long. Got a Rant 165mm with a 48 spline drive tree light sprocket 25 tooth. And so here I hit the old spindle out halfway, couldn't get it. That was the owner of the bike shop, Tim. He said, go get a punch. And I said, yeah. And I went and got the punch, and then I hit it out. And the punch puts me in a tricky situation later, which I'll talk about when the time comes. Here's Tim again, telling me that I should go upstairs and open the vise up just a little bit, right? Put some rags on top of it so that I can just hit the spindle with a mallet down onto the sprocket to get it on, because this is like brand new parts, so they're super tight, real tough. And so came back down, checked it out, didn't get it on there enough. Here we are, lubing it up, got the sprocket all on. There's a person from the bike shop. Everyone thinks my bike is mad tight. And cleaning up the messy grease spots a bit, you know, thinking about how to execute the rest of this since I've never done it before. And so there I tap the spindle in, throw the crank on, push the crank on with the tool. It took me like a couple weeks to get that from my homie, because he had it like in his house somewhere, and he found it and I got it. And so here I am, I'm thinking about if my chain line's gonna be right and if my cranks are gonna push on evenly, because I'm, like I said, first time, so I'm trying to figure out, you know, best way to do this in the shortest amount of time without fucking around. And so there, tighten the one crank on, push it on as far as I can with the bolt, and then I forgot one spacer that was in between the like dust cover for the bottom bracket and the sprocket, and it tripped me out, and I thought it would like fuck up my chain line and my cranks lining up, so I take the spindle back out, and when I did it with the punch, I didn't want to fuck up the inside threads because there wasn't one that was big enough to not like hit on the threads on the inside, so it had to like scrape the fucking some of the rag because it got like indented into the threads on the inside. So that was what I was doing there. And here I'm explaining that I got it on right, and later I fucking I'm checking the chain line, and I popped the chain on, and I kind of ran into like a little bit of a problem in checking the chain line. And basically here's another person that works at the bike shop. It's pretty tight. We're talking about chain line stuff, you know, just chain line related things. And then I broke one of the chain tools, so here I am coming back. I press it on, and then I like mushroom the tip because they're hollow links inside, and it got like bound up. And so then you're gonna see me, I'm like fucking around with the needle nose pliers, and I basically just like got leverage on the link and the plates, and I just kind of like got it loose so that it wasn't so bound up anymore. So that's what I'm doing right there, and that I would imagine will conclude this voiceover time for the moment. So I think I'm gonna narrate more things from now on because I think it's pretty cool, and I'd put music over most stuff anyways. So yeah, let's conclude the video here. Thank you. Well, I mean, I'm pretty much done with this now. I just put this link back into the chain when I sized it, and it's all bound up somehow, so I'm gonna try and get that loose, but otherwise it's pretty much done. Just have to throw these pedals back on. My other left one totally broke. That was like this. It just snapped right at the bottom here, and so that's why they're mismatched.